All right, hello and welcome to the summer service proposal writing workshop and webinar. I'm gonna share my slideshow and we'll get started. Um, for those of you who are new to um, summer service, this leadership program nurtures and equips young adults of color for leadership through service in the name of Christ. My name is Abby Endishaw. I'm the national program coordinator. We have a team of regional program coordinators in each region of the US who you may also be working with or speaking with as you begin working with the summer service program. So our program is a program with 4 objectives. First, to invest in our young adult leaders. We do this through this leadership grant and through the partnership of you, our summer service partners. So we invest in young adults with our time as they serve within your communities and churches. And we invest in young adults also financially by allowing their service to be something also that supplements their own income and allows them to be to continue increasing their stability and ability to support their families and themselves. Second objective is that we connect young adults with local communities. Our program is really committed to the idea that in order to be a leader, you don't have to leave your home. You can be a leader within your local community. You can learn from leaders in your local community. And so there's no extended travel in this program. While there are 1-week workshops, this program is primarily a local program allowing young adults to serve in their home communities. Our third program objective is to promote Anabaptist theologies of service, community, and peace building. MCC is a organization that's built with the support of various Anabaptist denominations. And so we want to continue sharing our history, but also show how we are moved by God to share God's love with the world. And that's through service, that's through connecting with our communities, and that's through continuing to build peace wherever we can. And last, our program objective is to affirm the resources, wisdom, and strengths of churches and communities of color. So this means, again, that we don't want young adults to buy into the idea that they have to leave their community in order to grow or in order to become leaders. We want to highlight and invest in the growth that can happen within your own community. So that's what the Summer Service Leadership Program is about. It's a 10-week program with 1 week at the beginning, which is a national conference, and a few days at the very end, which is another national ending conference. And the 8 weeks in the middle is all about service in their community. It's very much like an internship. So this is a program, let's go back just a bit. This is a program that operates through our partner organizations. So you, nonprofit leader, pastor, can identify a young adult from your own community who can be the leader that you want to invest in through the summer. MCC is not identifying the young adults in this program. MCC is connecting with churches and supporting financially the churches and the nonprofits who will have a young adult from their own community who serve. That's important as we look at this timeline. It begins with the churches and organizations submitting a proposal on March 7th. You, the supervisor, the church, the nonprofit organization, you will be responsible to submit the first part, that proposal, which can be found online. It's due on March 7th. Then 1 week later, the young adult application is due. During your portion, as you submit your proposal, you'll be asked to identify the name of that young adult and their email. So when we receive their email, we send them their young adult application, and they have 1 week to complete it. From that point, the next period from March 17th to March 21st, that's when MCC reviews each proposal. So that's where we'll focus our time today, is understanding what happens when MCC reviews the proposal. What are they looking for? How do they do that? That's what we'll be talking about today. So the proposal evaluation process. The proposal evaluation process is between March 17th and March 21st. The first step is that I will take the proposals that you all submit, and I remove them of all your name and identifying information, so that it can be in a blind or anonymous evaluating process. So I remove the names, but I keep the main components of your proposal together. And then I will randomly assign them to our proposal evaluators. Our proposal evaluators are a team comprised of a regional coordinator of each MCC US region. So there's one from East Coast, there's one from the Great Lakes MCC region, there's one from the Central States region, and there's one in West Coast. And I'm also an evaluator. So I take the anonymous proposals and I split them up between each of our evaluation team, and they'll review them and score each proposal. Each proposal will be reviewed by at least 2 or 3 of us. Now, say you are a church in Arizona who has applied for the summer service program. Arizona is part of MCC West Coast. So MCC West Coast will not be an anonymous reviewer of the Arizona church's proposal. So your proposal will be reviewed by other people on the evaluation team and not your personal regional coordinator. This is an effort to keep the anonymous part of the evaluation process. Once each of the proposals have been reviewed by 2 or 3 anonymous evaluators, each regional coordinator will receive all the proposals for their group. And we'll get to read the notes that the evaluators put in place and the scores that the evaluators put in place. And they get to ultimately make the decision of who gets a proposal. And in your proposals, you'll indicate if it's a full-time placement or it's a part-time placement. Your regional coordinator will decide how they're going to, if you'll get exactly what you asked for, full-time for full-time, or if they might reduce what they're offering and they'll offer only a part-time. That is a decision which comes from the regions. The last piece that I want to highlight is that there is in our timeline between March 24th and March 28th, there's a week that we allow for MCC to conduct follow-up discussions. So if there is a section of the proposal that we're not clear about, that requires more information, that's an opportunity for us to reach out to you before the final decision is made about who gets who is accepted this year and who's not. So you can pay attention to email and phone, and be mindful that you could receive some connection from MCC about this. All right. And now we'll talk more about what happens in an evaluation. But I want you to know that the main criteria that our evaluation is based on is one, completion. Did this partner answer the complete question, and clarity? From reading this response, can I get the picture? Do I see what is being said? All right. And on this section, we'll talk about a successful summer service proposal and what it should be. What are the components of a successful proposal? First, they should provide opportunity for leadership development. This is primarily a leadership development program. So we want to see the activities and the opportunities for this young adult to challenge themselves and to grow. Second, we want them to have the opportunity here to connect with church and community. A proposal where the participant would be working fully remotely, just on their computer, would not be seen as eligible, or really, it wouldn't be showing a strong sense that they're connecting with church and community. Same if they were just doing like file cabinet work or just shuffling papers. That would be an indication that, okay, I don't know if this proposal shows this connection with church and community. Third, we want a summer service proposal to demonstrate a holistic approach to community building, peace building, and leadership development. By holistic, we mean more than one way. So if the project is focused on, let's say, peace building, if it's only instruction or education about peace building, that's only one way. But if it's education and it's practice, that's two ways. It's a more holistic approach. I'm learning intellectually, I'm also learning practically. That's what we mean by holistic. 4, we want a successful summer service proposal to emphasize peace, social justice, and community building. These are MCC's main program values. MCC does relief, development, and peace building work. And so these are the focuses of this program as well. 5, we want the successful summer service program. 1 second, sorry. We want the successful summer service program to include well-planned goals and activities. This is speaking to specificity, and we'll spend a lot of time on this one as well. And we want the summer service proposal to include strong summer service participant support structure and mentoring. We want to know that they are in a community that they are learning and growing in, with their supervisor, with mentor, and with a 3-person advisory group. So, what does the proposal look like? The first part of your proposal is just the partner and supervisor contact info. That's not a part we're evaluating. It's just a part that needs to be included. Participant contact and eligibility. The eligibility requirements is that the participant is a person of color between ages 18 and 30, and that they're not on staff. Those are the 3 eligibility requirements. Beyond that, it's the program and project info. On the website, it's just called general info. This is an opportunity to describe your community and to describe the specific project proposal and the focus areas. Some of this is updated this year, so we'll go over them. And lastly, there's a section that allows us to focus on program structure and the support structure, time and schedule, and safeguarding. We'll talk about those things and how those questions are asked. So first, general info. What's the question and its function? We're going to go over each of the questions in the proposal. The first question asks, describe your community. What are the existing community programs and ministries of your church or organization? So why are we asking this question? What's its function? What are we looking for in this question? We talked about what a strong summer service proposal includes. This question directs us to, what's the connection with church and local community? When you describe the existing community and organization, we just get a look into who is the community that this participant is joining. And second, the holistic approach to community development. When we see the breadth of the work that's already happening, that just gives us a picture, what's the work that they're joining. Second question. This is a big one for us. It asks, list 3 goals or outcomes for the summer service assignment or project, and describe 3 to 5 specific activities that will be performed to support those goals or outcomes. What are we looking for in this question? This question helps us identify if the goals and activities are well planned, the holistic approach piece. What are the opportunities for leadership development described in these different goals and outcomes and the specific activities? And lastly, is there an emphasis on peace building and community development here? All right. This is what this looks like. So this is the project, the general information. This is what it looks like. The first question is where you describe the existing church or community. And this is the second part where you're able to describe the goals. What's the change which happened in 2025? This part where it says goal or outcome number 1, in the past, it was only 1 box. So a lot of times folks would just say 1 goal and a few activities because it was only 1 box. So one new change is that there's 3 boxes. There's actually 5 boxes, but you only have to use 3. And that's a space for you to identify a goal of your proposal. And the related activities. We'll spend a little bit more time here. But when it comes to well-planned activities, some questions you can ask yourself are 1, are the goals stated clearly? 2, are the goals and activities realistic and attainable? And 3, will the goals and activities stretch the young adults in some way? Will it provide an opportunity for growth? Okay, now we're going to spend some time discerning the difference between goals and objectives and activities, different things. So the goal is a broad or overarching outcome you aim to achieve through the program. So it's a larger theme. It's less specific. It's a larger outcome, a larger goal you hope that you achieve through the program. And I want to clarify, for this summer service leadership program, the goals should be more focused on the young adult, not the church or organization itself. It's understandable how that can get confusing, but I just want to remind you about the summer service leadership program objectives. It's for young adult leadership development. So the goals for this proposal should be focused on young adult leadership development. What are the goals that you hope that they achieve or that you achieve working with them? there's different types of goals. We'll go through 4. One is a leadership or peace building skills development. Keyword here is skills. I really want to highlight this one because it really speaks to the heart of the program. And I would love for each program to have at least one of these. Because it speaks to the core objective of what the program is about. So having a skills development component, it just really speaks to a strong program. An example of a skills development is developing conflict resolution skills. You develop skills through education, but also through practice. So the activities could be different, but a general goal is for the young adult to develop conflict resolution skills. There's other skills. Public speaking is a skill. There's all kinds of different skills that folks could get. It's a good question to ask. What are the skills that are necessary for staff at your church or your organization? That can help brainstorm what's the type of skills development my young adult could gain from a summer working here. Second is organizational impact goals. An example is improving the food access outreach program. So improving a particular part of your program is an example of how the young adult's goal can connect with your organization's goal. Third, personal development goals. Personal development goals can look like improving self-awareness. It can look like improving characteristics, being open to feedback, giving feedback. These are different types of personal development goals. And relationship building goals. So building strong mentorship with and between youth group members. So building that connection with and between youth group members is a type of relationship building goal. I did want to focus a little bit here on what are the leadership and peace building skills that are developed in your church or organization. As I brainstormed, I thought that in both churches and organizations, there's a component of team management skills that folks gain. Could be conflict resolution, facilitation, whether it's facilitating an activity, facilitating games, facilitating a learning event or a workshop. Those are different skills. Risk management, planning for what to do if during a certain activity at a camp, if a kid injures themselves, what happens? That's a type of skill that many teams are holding. Mentorship, time and resource management, budgeting, and delegation, all team management skills. For folks in the peace building sector, they also have the skills that they're developing. There's case management, advocacy, some kind of legal services, grant writing, fundraising, educating, even communications, writing, social media. These are all different types of skills. So whether you're a church or an organization, you'll probably have experience on both of these sides. So continuing to ask the question, what are the skills being developed within my team? And what are the skills that this young adult could develop from working together? Okay. Now, supporting activities. Activities are specific tasks, exercises, or interventions designed to help achieve the overarching goals. So just reminding that the proposal asks for 3 goals at least, and 3 to 5 activities per goal. So it'll take some time to really think about what are the different activities which are helping support the one goal. And so a couple of slides ago, I identified a type of objective. For leadership, it was conflict resolution. For organizational impact, it was a food access program. I'm using those same examples to identify 3 to 5 activities which could support this program goal or objective. So for the conflict management objective, learning conflict management objective, activity could be 1, a nonviolent action training. An activity 2, leading a circle process. Activity 3, practice mediation between conflicting youth or young adults. 3 different types of activities. Again, specific tasks, exercises, or intervention designed to help achieve the one goal. Organizational impact goal. This one was that the organization wanted to expand its food outreach program. If that's the goal of the organization, some activities which could support that is 1, evaluate the food access program through surveys to identify areas for improvement. One reason this is a strong activity is because it has the how as well. 1, evaluate the food access program, but also how, surveys, and also why, to identify areas of improvement. The specificity helps us as evaluators understand, I know exactly what that means. I know exactly what's happening here. Another activity would be increasing community awareness of the food access program. I assume that could be through social media, could be knocking on doors. There's different ways that folks would choose to increase community awareness. And lastly, connecting with local food resource systems. Yes, those of you who have food access programs in your churches or communities know, where do I go to resource, and what is the way that a young adult could support that. I want to highlight the personal development goals, and then we'll move on. So for the personal development goal, as a reminder, the goal was improve self-awareness. Very broad. Now, the supporting activities are 1, take the Enneagram personality test, just some kind of personality test. And then the why, to understand communicational styles and personal values. So promotes that self-understanding. 2, weekly mentorship. That's an activity that almost all of our summer service proposals should include, because it's a requirement of the program, that there's a weekly meeting with a supervisor. So weekly mentorship. And 3, reflection activities. This could be a debrief at the end of every week on areas of strength, areas to improve. It could be many things. These are some 3 examples of supporting activities for the personal goal, improving self-awareness. We'll move on here. This is also an update for this 2025 year. We're asking each of you to identify 3 program objectives, at least 3 to 5 program objectives. In the example that I shared, that was improve the food access program, conflict management skills, improve relationships within the youth. Those are the objectives that we used as examples today. This question is, which of the following focus areas will be the primary focus of your summer service project. And the ask is that you select up to 3 that best align with your project goals. So these are areas of focus that many of our summer service partners have worked in. And it helps us to track what are the areas that our partners are invested in. It helps us to provide relevant programming for our national leadership conference. And also it helps us communicate with MCC constituency and also just the MCC system that the summer service program is doing the work of relief, development, and peace in the name of Christ. We're looking for that program alignment here. And so selecting up to 3 that best align with your project goals. So the ones that we selected today, we talked about communication skills or conflict resolution skills. That was one of the goals that we gave in the example. That would fit under this restorative justice kind. We also talked about the personal development by improving your emotional awareness. That would fit under youth mentorship and support programs. And let's see if I can remember, improving the food outreach. That one goes to number 2, that food justice programs. So we want you to identify the 3 of these that best align with your 3 to 5 program goals. Okay, questions 4, 5, and 6 deal with the support structures. Who is on the 3-person advisory team? And how will the supervisor provide direct on-site supervision? The 3-person advisory team is a program requirement, so that's something we look for, definitely. And the direct on-site supervisor is a recommendation that you meet weekly. And scheduling and structures. So we ask if there's any collaborators that helps us have a broader scope of what the program looks like. And we ask for the schedule, is if it's part-time or full-time. Yes, so with the schedule, the more specific, again, the better. And that helps us identify, does this make sense as part-time placement? Or is this looking more like a full-time placement? So the more specificity, the better. Program agreements. This is the last piece of the proposal is just confirming that your awareness of the financial obligation and the participation requirements. For supervisors, the requirement is that they attend supervisor orientation and also that they allow their participant to join the national conference at the beginning, the ending conference, and then the midterm call. So that's the last pieces of the proposal. So we'll pause here for some questions. Yeah. Hi to Brian and Femi. I hope you guys are doing well. I'll pause recording for. All right. So this completes our summer service proposal writing workshop. We thank you guys for your participation in the program. And I do want to share the contact information if you have questions for me or for other folks on our team. Scroll back. Here is our contact information. Again, I'm Abby. I'm the national coordinator. And on the right-hand side are all 4 of our regional coordinators in East Coast, Great Lakes, Central States, and West Coast. You can connect with us at any time, and we look forward to hearing from you. And if you're a returning summer service partner, We look forward to connecting again. And if you're a first time, we look forward to meeting you. So thank you all for your time and feel free to send your questions.